In these short videos, I'm going to clarify with a little more detail each of the gratuities and rewards available to the primary member. This video is going to cover the unit price, ownership, override, and territory adjustment. So first of all, let's cover the purpose again: to create funds for promotions and other strategies that rapidly expand the membership and capture market share for the proprietary international residual rebate system. So territories have a population of approximately 3 million people. The primary membership owns all of the units in the territory, so they basically own the territory. While primary members acquire fractional ownership or partial units in the territory. Now the first 5,000 units are going to be available in 1,000 group increments. The first at $1,000 per unit, the next at $1,500, and then increase to $3,000, and at 5,000 units we'll reevaluate the pricing for the rest of the territories. Now I just want to quickly cover the concept of fractional ownership. So this is an actual fractional ownership building in Paris. Let's suppose in this building there's 100 condos and they have a pre-construction price of $1 million each. Now owners can buy the whole condo, or what they could do is divide it up by week and wind up with 52 units. And if it was 52 units, then each unit would be priced to start with at $19,230. But as this building gets completed and starts generating revenue, it's expected that the value of the building, the condos, and each unit would go up. Now, in order to make that happen, it has to be looked after. It has to be managed. So you would put together an ownership association and a management team. Because to make it clear, these revenues come from an ownership position. This building is not a security, or does it offer any type of interest return on the ownership position. And finally, when you own something, there's no guarantees. All the owners need to share in the expenses, but again, they'll also share in the profits. Now let's relate that to the territory fractional ownership program. It's the same. It's important for you to understand that each unit carries a certificate of ownership, and it is an asset. And that asset can change value, be sold, or inherited. Only primary members can own these units. Primary members can purchase multiple full or partial units. That is, each unit is representing a percentage of the territory. Someone wants to buy 10 units, they will own 10% of the territory. One unit, 1%. And because some of the units are valued at over $1,000, someone purchasing just $1,000 could wind up with a partial unit. And as far as an income source, only primary members receive the 8% override on the monthly membership fees. Now, in order to have this asset managed and growing properly, we want to be sure that there's 100 dedicated primary members to the development of the territory. So when a primary member purchases multiple units, that means that we will have less than 100 primary members. So to make up a difference to 100, we've initiated a support primary member program. Support primary members will be treated and acknowledged just like primary members. However, they do not receive part of the 8% override. What they do receive is 1/2 of a national primary array unit, and that comes from the multi-unit primary member. So for a primary member that owns more than one unit, as long as they're active in helping to develop the territory, they will keep one full NPA unit, but they'll give up 1/2 NPA unit to a support primary member. Now for multiple unit primary members who don't want to be active, but are just happy with the override return on their purchase, they will only receive the 8% monthly membership fee override. To continue with the analogy, if we want our asset managed properly, we want our primary members to become territory leaders. In order to accomplish that, we want them to live in the territory. They should understand the purpose of the club and have a desire for community involvement. They need to be a team player, be willing to set strategic plans, invest some time and the money to make that happen. And they must be skilled enough to be able to personally support 2 positions. And really, when you think about this, it's a $25 membership fee that once you have 3, it's free. So I think it's very reasonable to expect a primary member to be able to invite at least 6 new members and develop a group in the 2 positions. And finally, we believe they should become a merchant allocator. That means they should have the ability to go out and talk to merchants and register them to become part of the Worldwide Shoppers Club. And remember, that's also free, so I don't think the standards are too high for expectations. But just to be sure that we have these type of people, as we said, this is not a recruiting site. Primary members must apply. Alright, so let's take a look at the actual territory override. That is that primary members will receive 8% of the membership fees from all shopping and global members in the territory. We know that global members pay $25 per month in fees. At 8%, that would be $2 per month. However, we also know that we have a 3 for free program, but we believe that that would be offset by shopping members who also pay fees. I think we've stressed it enough so far that all the fees come in, they'll be divided up by the units and paid out to the individual primary members. And just to be sure that you understand about the territory members, it's any member that's in the territory regardless of their source. So it doesn't matter where they came from. That primary membership in Ohio is going to get credit for every brown and green dot in Ohio, and the primary membership in Ottawa will get credit for each green and brown dot in Ottawa. So as we build the nation, each primary membership should work together because they're all going to get members from other territories. What we haven't mentioned yet is there's also 2.5% of all the merchant rebates generated from all the shopping in the territory will go to the primary membership for promotion. Primary membership is expected to put a team together that can decide what to do with that money. If they decide as a group, they can spend the money any way they want to. And finally, I just want to take a minute and go over the unit adjustment factor. As it said here, this is basically to equalize the territory population so that every primary member has the same number of people to work with. What you see here is the formula for the adjustment factor. You can also see with the very first, which is the perfect example of 3 million, the adjustment factor is going to be 1. So what happens when a territory is slightly larger or slightly smaller? For example, when we go to Portland, we have 3.8 million. If you go to Alaska, you've only got 710,000. So what we do is we divide the population by the base of 3 million and we get our adjustment factor. And without going through all of this, let's just go down to the bottom. What this does is equal the $1,000 purchase. So you can see for the sample, we have $1,000 purchase. How many would we have? Well, we have 100 owners who purchased $1,000 to come up with a $100,000 value for the territory. And because there's 100 owners on 3 million people, each owner would have a population of 30,000 to work with. Portland is larger. The factor is 1.279. That makes the value of the territory at $127,866. So if we divided that into $1,000 owners, that would be 128. But guess what? That would still work out to 30,000 people for that owner. Let's go to Alaska. In Alaska, there's only 710,000 people. So dividing that by 3 million, that makes a factor of 2.37. And that gives the value of that territory $23,700. So if we looked at the number of $1,000 owners, that would be 23.7, or a $1,000 purchase then would buy 4.22 units. But again, it's not the number of units. Each $1,000 purchase is what we're equalizing here, would give those owner primary members 30,000 people to develop the territory. Alright, that completes this section, and of course you don't have to know any of this because it's all done for you as you fill in the calculator or concentrate on working together to develop the territory and just let the computer do all the work.